Do you love Beyblades? Do you love racing? And do you love gambling? Then I'm happy to say that SPEEDROID got new support. And I'm really happy because SPEEDROID was my first deck and it's also one of my favorites. I absolutely love the Clearwing and the Crystal Wing and the Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragons. It's really cool. And in this video, we're going over the new SPEEDROID support. So let's jump right into it. The first monster we're talking about is SPEEDROID Clackernal. It's a level 2 Wind Machine Pendulum Effect monster with 200 attack and 1800 defense. Now, its Pendulum Effect is pretty decent, specifically with another card that is in the set. So, its effect goes, you can banish one SPEEDROID card from your graveyard, place one SPEEDROID Pendulum monster from your deck in your Pendulum Zone. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except wind monsters. So, what SPEEDROID specifically does is actually just locks you in wind, and it may sound annoying, but it's actually completely fine because you have some good Clearwing Crystal Wings and the Crystal Clearwing and a new card that's pretty insane. So yeah, it's not really a big deal. It's just you can play every generic wind monster in this deck. So yeah, now its normal effect, or yeah, its main effect is it has two effects. The first effect is, if this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one SPEEDROID Clackernal from your hand, deck, or graveyard. And if you do, it is treated as a tuner. So that is pretty handy because there's other card that got revealed, and it works together with the Clackernal. And yeah, so that's pretty nice. Now its second effect, goes like, if your Clearwing monster battles while this card is face up in your extra deck, during damage calculation, you can banish this card, and if you do, that monster gains 700 attack. So yeah, it's pretty decent. You have a lot of cards that do that, like the SPEEDROID card Turbo. It's not a Pendulum monster, but you banish it from the graveyard, and every wind monster you control gains 800. So that it is a little bit better, but sure, it's pretty nice. So let's go on to our second monster. Now our second monster is SPEEDROID Wind Synchron. It's a Wind Machine Pendulum Tuner Effect monster with 1500 attack and 1000 defense. And it looks a lot like the Clearwing Synchro Dragon because it's just a tuner, a Synchron version. And also pretty funny, it's actually exactly 1000 less attack and defense than the Clearwing Synchro Dragon. But let's go on to its Pendulum Effect. Its Pendulum Effect is, once per turn, you can destroy both this card and one level 2 Wind Pendulum monster card in your Pendulum Zone. And if you do, special summon one Clearwing Synchro Dragon from your extra deck. And this is treated as a Synchro Summon. And also for the rest of the turn, your cards in your Pendulum Zone cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, you cannot special summon monsters except wind monsters, of course. So the plan with this Pendulum Effect is, with Clackernal, you will get your Synchron on your Pendulum Zone, and then you destroy it to get your Clearwing monster, get Clearwing Synchro Dragon to be precise. And it's pretty cool because you have a pretty awesome way to get a huge card, and I think we'll do that card as last because it's probably gonna be my favorite card of all time. So let's go on to the monster effect. And the monster effect is, if this card is added to the extra deck face up and there are 2 or more different monster types among the Wind Synchro monsters you control, you can send one spell and trap from your deck to the graveyard. Now that one will work with a new trap card that got revealed. Stay tuned because we're gonna go over that and the insane way it works. It's pretty cool, and the goal is actually to send that card. So probably, I think what you should do is play the new SPEEDROID monsters, that the Clackernal and the Synchron, both 3. I think that will work perfectly. So yeah, let's go on to our next monster. Now, our third monster, and this is our first synchro monster, is High SPEEDROID Glider. It's a Wind Machine Synchro Tuner effect monster that it has 1600 attack and 2200 defense, and it's a level 5 synchro tuner. So that's pretty nice, and just remember this card because that will also be used for the huge big boss monster of the deck. Now, it has 2 effects, and its first effect goes, if this card is synchro summoned, you can target one non-tuner level 7 or lowest wind synchro monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. Pretty decent, so you can go for your Clearwing monsters again, or any other, but probably you will go for the Clearwing. And its second effect is, if your opponent special summons a monster and you control a Clearwing monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, increase the levels of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls by 5. And that could be pretty annoying. Annoying because you could just make sure your opponent can't synchro summon properly or can't do its Xyz summon. So that's like a mini floodgate. So that's pretty cool. Now, yeah, it's a pretty decent card, let's say that. And I think it has like a better use with, for just the synchro summon. You will see at the end of the video, so stay tuned still. And let's go on to our first trap. So I said it's the first trap, but it's also the only trap. It's called SPEEDROID Clearing Wander, and its effect is, it has 2 effects, by the way. It's one on the field and one in the grave. And its field effect is, target cards your opponent controls up to the number of different monster types among the wind synchro monsters you control. Destroy them. So probably it will be, like 1 or 2 that you can destroy, because you'll most of the time play dragon and machine. So probably that only. And its graveyard effect, that's actually what makes this card pretty good. It's, if your opponent special summons a monster, you can banish this card from the banish this card from the graveyard, then target one wind synchro monster you control, banish it, then return to the field. So that is, it sounds pretty basic, but it's actually pretty strong, because all of the Clearing monsters and Crystal Clearing 2, Clearwing 2, Crystal Wing, the thing is that those cards are soft once per turn, except Clearing Fast Dragon, but it's not really a good card anyway, so, but what that card does is, they're all soft once per turn. So what the trap does is actually you banish it and then return to the field so you can use its effect again, and that's actually pretty good. And I think that's also gonna be, a 3-up in the deck, because it's gonna be used pretty often, specifically with the new card that we will go over. And let's just jump into that card, right? The final card for this video is Crystal Clearing over Synchro Dragon. Yeah, that's its name. It's actually just Crystal Clearing Synchro Dragon, but then probably stronger. It's really, really good. And it's a Wind Dragon Synchro effect monster with a 3,500 attack and 3,000 defense. And it's a level 12. It's a level 12, yeah. And what you need to summon this card is 2 tuners, 2 or more tuners, plus 1 tuner, one tuner synchro monster, plus Clearing Synchro Dragon. It must be synchro summoned. And it is a really strong monster. So its effect goes, it has 2 effects. Once per turn, when another card or effect is activated, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card, and if it was a monster, this card gains attack equal to that monster's original attack until the end of this turn. It's an Omni-Negate. Pretty busted. still, I would say. And by the way, I wanted to say at the end of the video, I will probably do some combos, what you could do, and to just quick summon this monster. And you can do it in 4 summons probably. So yeah. And by the way, I said really 4 summons or 5, but still, it's really strong. So let's go on to the second effect. Second effect is, if this face-up synchro monster card leaves the field by your opponent, you can special summon one clearing monster from your extra deck. And it says clearing, so it could also be crystal clearing. And it could also just be clearing synchro dragon. It could be anything. And by the way, just one thing I forgot about the trap is that, so it makes sure every card on the field gains 5 more levels. And that's a pretty chill effect, actually, because it actually works for the clearing synchro dragon, because its effect is it can negate a level 5 or higher monster. So pretty strong still. And I think this support will absolutely make this deck. And I mean, it will make the deck much stronger than it already is. It's not really that strong, but you have some banger cards like Crystal Wing. Crystal Clear Wing is a spell trap negate. And it's just, what if you have the Clear Wing and the Crystal Clear Wing Synchro Dragon fused? You get the Crystal Clear Wing over Synchro Dragon. It's pretty cool. So yeah, and like I said, you have the level 5 Synchro. It will work. You have then a lot of things you can do. So, and also by the way, with the new trap, it's not a once per turn effect anymore, because you can just do it whenever a monster gets special summoned. So yeah. Now let's go over to some combos, what you could do. So let's talk about the combos that we could do, and just imagine, like, the main cards that we actually need is, let's say the Marble Machine. It's actually just a Terratorb at home, very simple, and the Crack Kernel. So let's start just doing normal summon the Marble Machine, add the card Turbo to special summon the card Turbo, and get into the the SPEEDROID Glider too. Then we will use put Crack Kernel in the Pendulum Zone, activate its effect, just banishing a random card one of the cards in grave. Then you will add the Synchron, the Clearing Synchron. Then what you'll do is activate its effect, destroy both of them, and then you will have the Clearing, and very simple, you already have your Clearing, Crystal Clearing over Synchro Dragon. And you can pretty much go on, and yeah, I would say that's like, I think, the go-to combo. You could also do Terratop, but then you won't make it in 5 summons. So guys, this is the end of the video. Make sure to drop a like. And by the way, last video I said I was working with a huge video. I'm now like, maybe it's possible to make the video, but it's not really going that well. I don't see any cool content out of it. It's just me being a punching bag for probably 20 minutes. So that's, yeah, maybe you would like to see that, but I don't like to see myself doing that. So, but still, make sure just to like and subscribe. And I have a lot more content. I'm also planning to do maybe some Pokemon content and a lot more. So, yeah. And put anything in the comments down below for suggestions for videos still. And for, just, yeah, maybe if I said, again, something wrong or anything else. I got only one thing to say. Peace.